The rise of Rome. According to legend, Rome was founded in 753 BCE by twin brothers Romulus and Remus, sons of the god Mars. Over the next 1,000 years, it became the capital of one of the most powerful empires in history. Rome began as a small city-state ruled by kings. In 509 BCE, the last king was driven out and Rome became a republic. The early Roman civilization was influenced by two neighboring peoples, the Etruscans and the Greeks. The Etruscans. The Etruscans people lived in a group of city-states north of Rome and were highly influenced by Greece. They were great traders, architects, and engineers. Etruscan art. This Etruscan bronze sculpture shows a three-horse chariot running over a fallen man. The Etruscans may have given Rome the idea of chariot racing. Page 34. Greek art. The Romans admired and copied the realistic figures in Greek art. River god. This clay face shows that the Greeks were skilled potters. Aphrodite. The Romans modeled their goddess Venus on the Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite. The Greeks. The Greeks had founded colonies across southern Italy and had built many wealthy cities with fine temples and houses. These Greek colonies eventually came under Roman control, bringing with them their art and culture. Roman gods. The Roman people worshipped hundreds of different gods and goddesses. Everyone was expected to make sacrifices to the most important Roman gods, such as Jupiter, the protector of the Roman Empire. They also worshipped past emperors who were often made into gods when they died. The Romans believed that the gods watched over every part of their lives. There were gods to protect the house, page 23, gods of war, and gods of healing. Some worshipped foreign gods, such as Mithras or Isis, who offered hope in the afterlife. God of Thunder. The king of the Roman gods was Jupiter, a sky god whose symbols were the eagle and the thunderbolt. His temple stood on the Capitoline Hill in Rome. Juno. The wife of Juniper, Juno was the patron goddess of women. Her symbol was a peacock. Peacock sits on Juno's throne. Egyptian gods. Some Romans worshipped foreign gods as well as their own gods. The Egyptian goddess Isis, left, and the god Serapis, above, were among the most popular. Their religion was about the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Imperial Temple. Most emperors were declared gods after their deaths, and temples were built to worship them. This well-preserved temple in Vienne, France, was built to honor Emperor Augustus and his wife Livia, page 9, who were both made into gods. Offerings were made at an altar in front of the building, page 52. War Goddess. Minerva, the goddess of war, is shown here with her helmet and armor. She was also the goddess of handicrafts and wisdom. Mars and Venus. Mars, the god of war, is still remembered in the name of the month March. Gauls and Britons based many of their own gods on Roman ones. The silver plaque from Britain on the right is dedicated to a Roman-British god called Mars Alator. Venus, the Roman goddess of love, was said to be a divine ancestor of Julius Caesar. Inscription says that the plaque was given to fulfill a promise to the god. Bronze statue of goddess Venus. Persian god. This marble statue shows the Persian god Mithras killing a sacred bull. The bull's blood was thought to give life to the universe. A righteous god. Bacchus was the Roman name for the Greek god Dionysus, the god of wine and rebirth. Bacchus holds grapes as a symbol of wine. Busts of gods decorate this clamp used in religious ceremonies. Goat god. One of many Greek gods adopted by Rome, Pan was half man, half goat. He was a god of shepherds, and mountains could cause herds of animals to panic and stampede. Cybele. Cybele was a Turkish goddess. Her religion was about the cycle of death and rebirth. It was a very emotional religion, and sometimes her priests would work themselves into a frenzy. The monster is eating a man. Celtic god. The Britons and Gauls believed in some grim gods, like this monster. Priests and worship. The Romans feared the gods and wanted to win their favor. People would pray and make offerings at temples to ask for divine favors or to give thanks. These offerings came in all shapes and sizes, from coins and brooches left by the poor to silver statues donated by the rich. People also sacrificed food and drink and burnt incense on altars. Animal sacrifices were common, ranging from a single bird to a whole herd of cattle. There were few full-time priests or priestesses except for Vestal virgins who guarded the holy flame of the goddess Vesta in Rome. Priestess. A priestess pours a libation offering of milk, oil, or wine onto the altar of a god or goddess. The cults of Vesta, Isis, and Cybele were particularly associated with women. Libation jug. A bronze jug such as this one, right, was used for holding liquids to pour in sacrifices. Lion-headed handle. Under the knife. Animals were sacrificed in various ways. Large beasts like cattle were felled with an axe. Then a knife was used to cut the animal open. Libation bowl. A libation bowl was used to pour liquids into the fire on the altar. The smoke would then rise to the heavens to please the god. Curse tablet. People would seek revenge on their enemies by placing a curse on them. This lead plaque from the temple at Ely in England asks Mercury to make the thieves who stole a valuable animal fall sick until they return. Divine messenger. Above is a little bronze statue of Mercury, the messenger of the gods. It was left as an offering at his temple at Ely. Bones. Certain animals were chosen to be sacrificed to particular gods. Mercury's holy animals were the cock and the ram. Bones found at Ely show that chickens and sheep were also sacrificed in his honor. Offering a sacrifice. On this relief from Italy, a Silenus, or Greek woodland spirit, is shown making an offering at an altar. Sileni were companions of the god Bacchus, page 51. Boar to slaughter. A boar is led to the altar for sacrifice. Its inner organs were burnt as offerings to the gods. The good meat was cooked and eaten. The way the sacred chickens ate showed whether the gods approved of a plan. Animal liver. This marble hand is holding an animal's liver. A special priest would read the god's will from the liver's shape. It was thought to be bad news if the organ was damaged. Sacrificial altar. Roman altars stood in the open at the front of the temple.